Off Catron next to Walmart, or the original Mr. Liquor on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City. Plus, follow Mr. Liquor on Facebook for in-store events, allocated bourbon drops, and exclusive in-store barrel picks.
Mom, can we please go to Waikiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Waikiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Waikiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WaikikiWaterpark.com.
Since 1928, Connect Home Center has been proud to serve Rapid City and Spearfish with quality products and customer service that you can trust. In 2000, Connect joined the Mead Lumber family, and now they're taking the next step into their journey. Connect Home Center is becoming Mead Lumber. Same people, same service, just a new name from design to finish. Mead Lumber is here for you, as they've always been. MeadLumber.com.
Ready to be part of something big? Meet the Rapid City Sports Commission, the powerhouse behind sports in Rapid City. The commission focuses on bringing regional and national tournaments, supporting homegrown events, and creating opportunities for our kids. But it's not just games, it's a win-win for all of us. Youth sports fuel our economy. Hosting events in Rapid City means out-of-town families shop, dine, and stay with us, which boosts sales tax revenues too. To get in on the action, visit rcsportscommission.com, where we're all about the hustle.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
You need to know.
Indianapolis Colts quarterback Daniel Jones told reporters today that he expects to start their regular season opener after tearing his Achilles last December. Jones participated in individual drills today during OTAs. The New York Jets are signing free agent place kicker Younghoe Koo. Baseball, St. Louis Cardinals pitcher Dustin May had a no-hitter going for 7 innings at Milwaukee today before it was broken up. The Brewers then came back to win the game over the Cardinals 2-1. The Seattle Mariners took over sole possession of first place in the American League West with a 9-1 road victory over the Athletics. The Philadelphia Phillies have a 2-0 lead at San Diego after 7 innings. Phillies starter Christopher Sanchez today has extended his scoreless streak to 44 and 2/3 consecutive scoreless innings, breaking Grover Cleveland Alexander's 115-year-old franchise record. I'm Isaac Lowenkron.
It's time for South Dakota's Sports Talk Show. This is the Nate Brown Show, featuring live callers, great interviews, and thought-provoking sports talk. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
All right, good Wednesday afternoon. Are we ready to go? You bet. Thanks for being here. The Nate Brown Show is back. We're live on Fox Sports Radio. It is always a great day in South Dakota. It is South Dakota Sports Talk Show, live, local. We're on KWSN Sioux Falls and Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome in, South Dakota sports fans, and thanks for making this show possible. We appreciate you guys. We are on our Fox Sports Radio affiliates, you bet. Remember, you can stream us all the time. Find us on YouTube, The Nate Brown Show. Subscribe to the channel. You've got us. YouTube is The Nate Brown Show. On X, find us on Twitter right now. Welcome in studio. If you watch on Twitter, great stuff there. At Nate Brown Show. Follow the show and watch us live. And finally, Midwest Sports Plus. They've been covering high school baseball, and they carry the Nate Brown Show on Midwest Sports Plus, the new high school sports app. Get it if you don't have it, and you've got this show every weekday afternoon. Wednesday show looks really good. Some interesting stuff today. There's a lot to hit. We got 2 hours thought-provoking sports talk. Let's make this work, man. Coming up, Matt Brown, one of the great college sports business guys. I think one of the best. If you want to know how college sports business works, Matt Brown's website, Extra Points, is the one. He's really good. You see a lot of national coverage of his stories and insight, and he does a lot of the work, man. He gets in the weeds big time. We need guys like that. So he's not my cousin or anything like that. Matt Brown is coming up from Extra Points, college football analyst and business insider. Matt Brown's coming up. He's going to explain a big thing in college sports today, so we'll get to him. Jerry Brewer is on tonight. He's covered the NBA for a long time. National columnist for The Athletic. Jerry Brewer on the Spurs, OKC, the Knicks, and everything in between. Jerry Brewer's coming up from The Athletic, national columnist. We are going to get into state track this weekend. State track Sioux Falls, who are some of the top teams, top athletes. Let's get into South Dakota State track with Alex Heinert, great broadcaster, and he's the state track announcer. So we've got Alex Heinert on live tonight. And we're trying to track down some North Dakota State stuff. So there's some news out with North Dakota State, and we'll see if we can track down Andy Rieckhoff from Bison 1660. Wednesday show looks good here on the Nate Brown Show. If you want in, well, we'll do that. 605-720-1067. Join the party. Join the fun. 605-720-1067. That's the Pizza Ranch Studio Hotline, powered by the Pizza Ranch. 2 great locations. Stop by this week. East 10th Street, Sioux Falls, the best buffet by far. Also the location in Brandon, outstanding for lunch, dinner. Take the family, Fun Zone Arcades, both locations, Brandon and East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Stop by the Pizza Ranch, home of everyone's favorite buffet. Lister text line is open. We call it the Barron's Wilson Lister text line from the infancy of this show. We have had the Lister text line for you to be a part of the conversation. 605-720-1067. That is the Barron's Wilson Lister text line. We are set out of the gate on a Wednesday, and we've got it. We finally have... I'm just ready today. We finally have a solution. We've got it. The federal government has done something. Everybody stop your cars. They've done something. Kind of. Hang on a second. We've got it today. I told you it was coming last week, but it took an extra week because it's the federal government. But nonetheless, I told you last week, Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell, these are 2 senators, a Republican and a Democrat. I told you the 2 senators, supposedly, I'm looking at all this reporting, they had this bipartisan bill on college sports where they were going to say, this is the future of college sports. This is how we're going to protect the athletes, the coaches, the fans. We're going to make college sports work for everybody. They said it was coming out last week. And again, it's the government, so they just had to wait. And it's out today. So I got to start my show with this. You know me, one of the big college sports fans. And so let's actually dig in. And I make light. I joke. We have the solution. We have the bill. They've done something. What is in the new proposed Senate bill? This is going to go to the Commerce Committee for a vote. This is going to go to a vote, pretty quickly. And then it has to make its way through the mess. The mess. Okay, so you know how politics works, right? But what is in this? What is there legitimate stuff in the college sports bill from Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell? Can we actually make progress without being a jerk and making fun of this stuff? Can I actually take something away and figure this is the new future? This is going to work. The NCAA is going to... They're going to make this work. Congress is going to make a law, and we're going to have a federal law that actually stops certain things from happening or helps college sports. You think we can get it? So let's get into it tonight. Here's your update as you drive home tonight. Here's some of the major takeaways. I've seen a ton of reporting done on this, so we'll get to Matt Brown. He's the expert on this stuff. Extra Points, College Sports Business Insider. So Matt Brown's coming up. But I'm going to do some takeaways for South Dakota Sports Talk Show, and let me see what you think is good. I want to see if you think this is good or not good or not. One thing out of the bill, federal law, bipartisan bill out of the Senate. Here's it. They're going to do one transfer without sitting out. Oh, oh boy. The transfer portal. What do you mean? That's what's in here. One transfer. Okay, you get one get-out-of-jail-free card. You get one time, you get to go, no questions asked, it doesn't matter. You get to transfer one time, no questions asked, no sit-out, no penalty, no nothing. You only get one transfer for undergrads. That's it. Now, if you get into the weeds, if a coach leaves, stuff like that's another story. But the 98% of the whole thing here is, you're going to get one transfer. You agree with that? You agree with that? You hit me. I'm gonna run through this. I'm gonna run through point by point. I got like 5 takeaways here. So one transfer. Here's what I've said about this. The transfer portal is a mess, and you guys know this. We don't want guys transferring every year unless I do talk to some people. I've heard people say to me, "Why can you control transfers? What makes you control transfers, Nate? Why do you want to control it?" It's team sports. It is team sports. So I've always thought I don't need to shut down transferring totally. I don't need that. I don't need to make them sit out totally. But the old rule, I think, used to be okay, where you had to go through some conversations. You had to talk with the coaches, the staff, get some waivers, the whole thing. Now it's just a free-for-all. It's free agency without any rules, and that doesn't make sense. And you guys know that. So I'm okay with this. The bipartisan bill in the Senate introduced for college sports. What do they call this thing? I better look this. They have a name for it. I love these names. What's this? The big, beautiful sports bill? Is that what this is? Yeah, maybe I'll call it that. We'll see. One transfer for undergrads. Okay, there's that. 5 years of eligibility, end of story. So 5 years, end of story. You're not going to be able to do this in red shirt and go here and go there and get a medical exam. Okay, so 5 years eligibility, end of story. Now, that's a little sticky, too, because I talked about the medical stuff and things happen. And, you could apply for reinstatement and eligibility. And I mean, people went through the COVID year. We got guys playing 7 years. So they're saying 5 years of eligibility. Now, let's get into some of this. They want to freeze conference membership for the 2 big conferences. This bill has language to freeze new members for the SEC and the Big Ten. So you're following with me on this, list by list. Are you upset yet? I'm not upset yet. One transfer, okay. 5 years of eligibility for college athletes, okay. Freezing membership. So the federal government can tell which universities where to go and where not to go? The federal government can put a freeze on the SEC and the Big Ten? They can't invite teams in on their own? We're getting a little heavy-handed. We're getting a little, hey, look out now. I don't care whether you love the SEC, hate the SEC, you like the Big Ten, you're a Husker fan, whatever it is. So the federal government can tell teams or conferences you can't add any more teams? That's amazing to me. That's in here. Freeze the membership of the 2 big leagues, the SEC and the Big Ten. That's in here. And here's more. There will be a compensation cap with the NIL. So everybody that I've talked to on this show, I've asked writers, I've asked you guys, you've made this comment. Everybody wants to see you got to have some guardrails and you got to have a compensation cap. Nobody cares about players getting paid. We all know that. Players can get paid, but we don't want it to be unlimited. And this state does this much, and this state has this rule, and everybody can spend whatever they want. So we always want a salary cap in baseball. We want that. So now we want a cap in college sports, and this bill would say there is a compensation cap on NIL. So here's the uniform rule that I believe has to be a part of something. I don't know how this is going to go. There's points in here that are good. There's points in here that are going to be litigated like you wouldn't believe. I mean, till the cows come home. This is going to be lawyer fest. My daughter wants to be a lawyer. Maybe I should tell her, get into the college sports side. This is going to be going on for a while. And especially this one, the NIL cap. You know why? Let me explain just a little bit. We all want a compensation cap for athletes, right? We think each team should be able to spend a certain amount. That one team shouldn't be able to go crazy like Ohio State, and then another team in the same league like Northwestern has to try and keep up with that. Okay, so we think it sounds good for sports. Here's what the bill says. They are neutral. The federal government, the federal law is neutral on if college athletes are employees. Wait a minute. When you write a federal law, you got federal legislation. You can't be neutral on stuff. Especially if you're like the biggest thing. Are college athletes going to be employees or not? That's what it says here. Neutral on if college athletes are going to be employees. Well, you can't be neutral. You can't you can't say there's a compensation cap and then, well, I don't know if they're going to be employees or not. You know why? Because if they are employees, you can't have a compensation cap. Why? That's federal labor law. That's unfair labor practices. So you can't say you're an employee and you get a cap. You're capped at this. It has to go through a whole collective bargaining agreement between the employees, the athletes, and the universities. It's just like the NFL, the NBA, the WNBA. They always go through this. The MLB, they go through all of these conversations because they have collective bargaining as players. They have an employee union. And so then that's when the caps come into place, is when there's employees. Yes, you got to have a whole negotiation and a union and all that messy labor stuff. So this thing here, they've got some stuff. I said they got some stuff. But then I get into this. We want a compensation cap on NIL. We're going to cap it. And fans will say, that's great. And then they say, we're neutral on if athletes are employees. So that's kind of where you're not going to be able to be neutral. It's not going to work. So there can't be one of those things. You're going to cap it, and then you say they're employees because now you got big trouble. And I'm serious about the lawyer stuff, the litigation stuff. There's stuff in here that right there, the employee thing, is just going to be battled. I mean, it is going to be an absolute battle. Some people in Congress wanted them to be employees. Other people didn't want them to be employees. There's various reasons for that. Some people think if they become employees, well, then the universities are just going to cut all the other sports because they don't need those employees, right? That's what happens in business. Hey, we're doing this. We don't need these employees anymore. We see guys get fired. We don't need these employees, and that's what universities may do. If you want to make them employees, be careful what you wish for there. So that one is not totally solved in this Senate bill, I believe. The big one as well. One more on the Senate bill that just came out today from Ted Cruz, Maria Cantwell. Republicans, Democrats introduce a Senate bill on the future of college sports and federal law here. I mean, this is what needs to happen, because then the NCAA has to actually enforce stuff, and they get backed up by the government finally before you could just sue over the littlest thing and then it's over. So there's going to be litigation, probably stuff that they lose here, but one is this. They would allow all the other universities to pool their media rights. So you know why the NBA gets a big media deal? Because it's all the teams. You know why the NFL gets a huge media deal? It's all of the teams. You don't have the AFC West doing their own TV deal. Hey, this is a good conference, a good division. Well, we're going to do our own deal for the Chiefs, Broncos, Chargers, Raiders. How about the NFC North? That's a good division. We're going to do our own deal. You can't do it. So they pool their media rights. All of the leagues do that, and this bill says college sports should do it, and that means the SEC and Big Ten would have to do that with everybody else. You believe that? The Big Ten says we got our own thing, and it's working well. The SEC, we got our deal with ESPN. We're making a lot of money. Everyone else has scraps. This bill says everybody else could team up. The Big 12, the ACC, the Mountain West, the Sun Belt. They all could team up, and if 75% of them say we want to do this, then the SEC and the Big Ten have to do it or not benefit. How about that? How about that? That's wild. That is absolutely wild. College sports, U.S. Senate, never thought it would happen. They keep talking about it. It's happened. Is there some big stuff that they will take out of this and actually move this through the U.S. Congress? Will they move this through? Because they're trying to freeze the Big Ten and SEC. They're trying to get other schools to pool media rights to give them some more money. So what they're trying to say is this Super League that the SEC and Big Ten threatened, hey, we'll do our own thing. That Super League is dead if this type of stuff goes into play. What a deal. What a deal. Matt Brown is on first. He's with Extra Points. That's his site, and he's been a really good college sports business guy, one of the best in the country. He's on the Nate Brown Show explaining his take on this Senate bill on college sports next.
This is South Dakota's Sports.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0, zip, zilch, with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's May 2028. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with 0 regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait? There's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute, and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
From high school to college to the pros, from Rapid City to Sioux Falls, the Nate Brown Show is South Dakota's sports talk show.
All right, welcome back in South Dakota Sports Talk Show. I think we've got them on the other line. We're ready to go on Fox Sports Radio, the Nate Brown Show across the state. KWSN Sioux Falls, welcome in on Fox Sports Rapid City. Big day in college sports, at least for now. A U.S. Senate bill, a bipartisan bill. Is this happening? Nothing bipartisan happens, it feels like. Nothing gets done, it feels like, but now we're going to get something done on college sports. Well, there's a guy that covers the business of college sports and how things work. He does a really good job. If you don't know it, you should. ExtraPointsMB.com. Okay, I go there a lot. ExtraPointsMB.com. He's the founder. He's the guy, Matt Brown. It's a great day to get him on. This U.S. Senate bill, Ted Cruz, Maria Cantwell put it out there on college sports and a federal law that says this and that. And I went through some of the bullet points. I want to get Matt on to get his read. Matt, welcome in. How are you?
Hey, thanks so much for having me. I'm doing very well.
Good, man. I appreciate your time. This is your wheelhouse, at least I think so. So, I want to ask you: Are you thinking this parts of this thing will actually get accomplished? Do you believe, or is it just going to be a constant fight, a litigation, a mess for years?
I think there's going to be a big fight about this bill, but of all of the federal proposed bills we've had about college sports in the last 4 or 5 years, and I want to say there's been close to 10, this is the one that has the best chance of actually becoming a law. There's one where there's a meaningful bipartisan coalition supporting multiple aspects of the bill. There's intense lobbying efforts here, not just from the NCAA and major conferences, but from some athlete groups and other third parties. The biggest question mark, I think, to me, is less about how you're going to finagle to get 60 votes, although that's going to be an issue. The biggest obstacle is really the calendar. It's late May. The Senate goes into recess in August, and by the time they get back, there's not really going to be any legislating done because of the midterms. So if this is going to happen, it needs to get through the Senate, needs to get through markup, and then go back to the House and potentially find a way to get a majority there in about 8 weeks. And that was going to be very hard to do.
Here's some of the highlights, and I want to see what you think of this. Some of the stuff out of this proposed Senate bill for college sports. Freezing the conference membership, SEC and Big Ten, no new members. Do we want the federal government telling conferences what to do? You can't bring in new teams?
Looking through this, the part of the bill that makes the least sense to me is all of the language surrounding potentially pooling media rights and about Big Ten SEC membership. And I've sent some text messages and follow-ups about this, and I had some staffers say, like, this bill isn't meant to keep the Big Ten or SEC from potentially adding anybody else. I mean, practically speaking, they wouldn't want to for the next couple of years anyway. But there is a lot of concern in D.C. about the idea of the Big Ten and the SEC breaking away and forming a super league. I think you can understand why Senator Cantwell might be especially sensitive to this, given that her state includes Washington State, who's been damaged by a realignment more than maybe nearly anybody, and now Washington is now playing midweek games in baseball and softball against Rutgers, 2,500 miles away, and it's important to Ted Cruz too, given how Texas Tech has been loudly, pushing here to be included in whatever the highest echelon of college athletics ends up being. Whether that component of the bill will hold up to legal challenges, whether that's the thing that gets through all of the lobbying and everything else, I don't know. To me, that isn't the most important part of this bill or the animating reason for it really to exist.
Okay, let's talk about the media, the pooling the media rights. So you explain this, Matt, and see if I have it somewhat right. So you got NFL, NBA, MLB, all these leagues. They pool their rights. All of the teams are on board. Hey, this is our rights. We make a ton of money off this because we're all together, and Amazon pays this, NBC, the whole thing. So now if they pooled media rights, if 75% of the schools say, yeah, we want to do this, and the SEC and Big Ten say, well, no, we like our own things, we're making all the money, can they make the SEC and Big Ten pool the rights with everyone else?
My understanding is, as this is currently imagined, no. Although this is going to be litigated and talked about here. What's interesting, one, is there's not really a lot of huge interest in consolidating media rights, even among the Big 12 and the ACC. The folks that tend to be most animated about this tend to be G5 programs or those who are not making anywhere near what everybody else is making. This is a self-interested argument, but one that I think does have some merit, where economists hired by the Big Ten and SEC said, like, look, beyond the fact that this would be an enormous expansion of the federal government power to essentially nationalize college football television broadcasts and dictate, who is combined with whom and how you can sell it. But seems to be this assumption that if you combine all of college football together into one media package, everybody makes a lot more money. And we're not really sure if that's true. One of the big differences, I think, with the NFL is you got 32 teams, and the gap between the 2 or 3 most largest market or have the most fans, teams, your Packers, your Steelers, your Cowboys, and the Jaguars is significant. But it's not nearly as significant as the gap between Ohio State and Michigan, Alabama, Texas, and UNLV, or New Mexico State, or even a Purdue, for that matter. When you look at the fact that we're in a world now where there's just not as many buyers for media, for sports, for live sports television, and a lot of that money that CBS and ESPN have been stocking away is going to go right back to the NFL, it's difficult for me to imagine a world where suddenly the college football media rights triple. For those who are a certain age, you may remember a time when all of college football media rights were consolidated and sold as one entity. That's how it was until the 80s. And everybody made a whole lot more money once you split things up by the mid-1990s.
Matt Brown is on tonight. Find him on Twitter if you're not following him at Matt Brown EP, Extra Points founder. The website's extrapointsmb.com, covering the business of college sports and the inner workings. So the NIL thing's for fans, Matt. They say, we got to have a cap. That would make things better. Like, pay the players, but we got to have a cap. This bill talks about a compensation cap, but neutral on whether they're employees or not. How do you make those two things work? Can you have a cap and have an employee at a university?
Well, that's going to be the big question, right? And one that I think ultimately is going to be decided by the courts and lawyers independent of these lawmakers. If you give the NCAA an antitrust exemption to enforce the House settlement or to differentiate between what's pay to play versus market based NIL, you could have a cap. But the second that athletes or some group of athletes somewhere is declared to be an employee, which could happen as early as next year with the Johnson case working its way through the federal court system, then you can't have a cap. What happens is then this law becomes unconstitutional. It's an unfair restraint of trade. You can't artificially cap someone's earnings if it's not part of something that's collectively bargained. And then you have a CBA. The reason you have a salary cap in the NFL and the NBA and the NHL, and the reason you don't have one in Major League Baseball, is because that is not something that ownership or management can unilaterally impose on a group of workers unless you have a CBA. As long as they're not employees, you could potentially get around that. I mean, we've had various lawsuits about whether the House settlement can actually be enforced or how this is going to work, and that's why you haven't had any real enforcement mechanisms. I don't know if this bill, as currently written, is a long-term solution for that. But if you put something in about employment, this bill would never get passed. That is the red line where almost every Republican in the U.S. Senate and U.S. Congress does not want any athlete to be listed as an employee, and the majority of Democrats either do or want that option to be available at some point in the future.
Yeah. So this bill says we're neutral. We're not for or against athlete employment. Yep. That's interesting. What about the one-time transfer for undergrads? This is going to be something people think, hey, the transfer portal, we're okay with you transferring once, but then we don't want it every year, free agency every year. Is that a big hitter for fans, one-time transfer, and call it good?
That is one of the parts of this bill that I imagine will be broadly popular with fans, with many schools, and certainly on the management side here, and an idea that has legitimate bipartisan support. I think If you had a bill, the only thing in the bill was it's 3 pages, and it says we're giving the NCAA an antitrust exemption to enforce a transfer rule. One time you could transfer one time for free, and you could transfer when your coach gets fired or when you graduate, and any other time you have to sit out a year. And a rule that says you can't be older than 23 and a former professional and play college sports. I bet that gets 85 votes. That is broadly popular. There's a lot of frustration among fans of big school, small school, Republican, Democrat with perpetual free agency. That is not something the NCAA can likely enforce or fix by themselves, which is why they have been very aggressive in wanting Congress to help them.
Matt Brown on tonight from Extra Points. We can't hit everything. Anything else that you're going to cover on this? Anything else that gets your attention?
I think the other thing that might fly under the radar a little bit that's important to people like me and my readership is this idea of a public financial database of NIL activity as part of this bill. Right now, one of the really big challenges for anybody, whether you're a fan, an agent, a coach, anyone, is you don't really know what people are actually paying. You don't know what people are being paid or athletes are being paid under the House settlement for rev share. You don't know what the going rate is for an Instagram deal if you're a tennis player trying to get something from your local pizza shop. And a lot of agents out there basically just make stuff up. So this bill is saying, hey, all the deals that get processed through the CSC or that go through university compliance, at the end of each year, you're going to have to strip away all the personal identifying information. We're going to break it down anonymously and then give people a range of what that compensation looks like, as well as athletic department revenues and spending, majors, and the outcomes, right? Are people graduating? Are people only graduating because they're majoring in general studies? Or how does this work? I'm a reporter, so I generally am going to be more pro-transparency. I think if this works, that would meaningfully benefit almost everybody but agents currently involved in the labor market right now.
Public financial database of NIL deals. That would be interesting because everybody's guessing. Matt Brown, before I let you run, one college football playoff question. SEC's doing their meetings in Florida. Greg Sankey has not wanted to go to 24 teams. People think they're going to kick and scream bringing him there. Do you think we get to 24 teams?
I do not think we go to 24 teams within the next 12 months. The biggest reason for this, beyond the fact that the decision has to be unanimous between the Big Ten and the SEC, and while I'm quite confident many SEC coaches are lobbying to go to 24 because, as Mike Elko at Texas A&M pointed out, we don't want to get fired. Make it 40. Make it the bigger the better. There's also not a decision that they can make all by themselves. This is also something that ESPN is going to have a say in here, and they've made it clear they're not super interested in paying for a gigantic new field, knowing that some of these early games are not going to be huge TV numbers. I think you're going to end up staying at 12 for the next year, and then depending what happens on Capitol Hill, we might be talking about a much more substantial breakup with the Big Ten, SEC, or elsewhere that would change how these conversations go.
Great stuff tonight. Great to have him on South Dakota Sports Talk Show here on Fox Sports. It's Matt Brown from Extra Points. The website is extrapointsmb.com. Really good stuff. Check it out. Matt, thanks a lot, man. I appreciate it.
It's my pleasure. Be well.
Thanks a lot. Matt Brown, really good. ExtraPointsMB.com, founder of Extra Points, the business of college sports, and he's on the inside. Really good stuff. That's some original stuff. Matt Brown on tonight. Find him on Twitter at MattBrownEP. A couple of things there. He said he does not think we go to 24 teams right here, right now. So he's thinking you're going to stay 12 over the next year. Even though the Big Ten's been pushing, he's thinking we're going to say 12 in the college football playoff. Matt talks to a lot of guys. I know that. So he says we're going to say 12. That's his thought. And maybe this whole Senate bill is going to shake up everything. Boy, if you haven't seen some of this info, I ran through it as I started the show. It's really interesting. First major U.S. Senate bill on college sports introduced today from Ted Cruz and Maria Cantwell from Washington. So, compensation cap on NIL, we would like that. And I think most fans are like, you got to have an even playing field. Like, hey, the guys will get paid, but here's the salary cap. So that's it. One-time transfer. Yeah, you can transfer. It's okay if things aren't working out. You can transfer and not have to sit out, but you can't do it 3 times, 4 times. So there's some stuff there in the bill that people like. It's just how big do you want the government to get into, hey, should they be able to dictate scheduling and media rights and some of that stuff? So coming right back, let's go to Fargo, North Dakota. Hey, speaking of media rights, the TV schedule came out for North Dakota State. Hey, Jacks fans and Yote fans, what do you think of this? We're going to talk to Andy Rieckhoff. He covers North Dakota State from Bison 1660. It's a big headline for North Dakota State today. I'm going to get to it next.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Ready to turn your backyard into the ultimate summer retreat? The Memorial Day sale is happening now at Splash City. Whether you want the relaxation of a hot tub, the fitness of a swim spa, or the detox of an infrared sauna, we have the world's leading brands, including Jacuzzi, American Whirlpool, and Sundance. Now through June 1st, get 0% financing for up to 60 months and up to $5,000 in factory rebates. Start your summer at the area's #1 summer fun spot, Splash City in Sioux Falls, Sioux City, and Rapid City.
Save big on everything for your next project. Now at Menards. Keep your home neat and organized with help from Dakota. Whether you need extra storage or want to add an accent to your living space, Menards has the shelving solutions for you. Dakota shelving comes in a variety of finishes to match your style. View our entire selection of Dakota shelf boards on Menards.com. Plus, check out our weekly flyer for other great deals happening this week.
Save big money at Menards.
Being in business has its rewards as well as its challenges. It means being the first one in the door in the morning and turning off the lights when you leave at night. Your business is unique, and you need a bank that understands your needs. You deserve the best. You need a financial partner that is invested in your success. You need Pioneer Bank and Trust. Don't settle. Pioneer. Pioneer Bank and Trust. Local.
Pioneer Bank and Trust. Member FDIC.
No one comes close to the selection of beer, wine, and spirits you'll find at your Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. This month's specials include select Basil Hayden Bourbon at $10 off. Save $6 off the big 175-liter of Fireball, now only $23.99. Price is good at both Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. Off Catron next to Walmart, or the original Mr. Liquor on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City. Plus, follow Mr. Liquor on Facebook for in-store events, allocated bourbon drops, and exclusive in-store barrel picks.
At Dakota Discount RV, we're in it for the long haul, just like you. Whether it's cross-country adventures, weekends by the lake, or family time under the stars, we're here to keep you rolling for years to come. While others are packing up, we're doubling down with dependable service, great prices, and the biggest selection in the region. Your journey doesn't stop here, and neither do we. Here tomorrow, here for every mile ahead. Visit us in Rapid City or Somerset or online at dakotadiscountrv.com.
Hi, this is David Brenneman with Coldwell Banker Black Hills Legacy in Rapid City. With today's home values, right now could be a great time to sell your home. The Black Hills housing market is competitive, and I would love to help you get top dollar for your home. I have been selling real estate and attracting buyers in Rapid City for nearly 20 years. When it comes to buying or selling, experience matters. If you're thinking of selling your current home, let me put my expertise to work for you. Just Google David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker. List it, sell it, and move on. With me, David Brenneman, Coldwell Banker.
We all know life's busy, and if you get sick, you can get behind pretty quick. That's where Black Hills Urgent Care comes in. No appointments needed, no long waits, just fast, affordable care to get you feeling better quicker. Black Hills Urgent Care has 2 locations in Rapid City on Haynes Avenue and Mountain View Road. You can simply check in online at bhucare.com. That's with the letter U, bhucare.com. When you need care, see the team at Black Hills Urgent Care, the faster way to get better.
Your sports, your show. From East River to West River, this is South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
Hey, welcome in South Dakota Sports Talk Show live across the state. KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Welcome in Fox Sports Rapid City. Remember, if you miss parts of the show, go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. We are there on Apple, Spotify, Amazon. Wherever you get your podcast, search the Nate Brown Show, and you can listen to the show on demand when you can. great guests across the board. You might miss some guys. So Matt Brown was on tonight. He's one of the best college sports business guys. And with this U.S. Senate bill that just came out today on college sports and the impact this could make, he was perfect. Matt Brown from Extra Points was on tonight. Go to the Nate Brown Show podcast if you miss anything. Andy Rieckhoff is on from Fargo. He's on Bison 1660. You might know they cover the Bison. Bison 1660 covers North Dakota State. Has to show up there. He's on X at Andy on the AM, and he's here on the Nate Brown Show in South Dakota. The TV schedule just came out for NDSU jumping to the FBS rank, so I thought, wait, let's look at this. 9 nationally televised games right now. Andy, welcome in. How are you?
I'm doing great, Nate. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, great day for Bison football and Bison football fans up here in Fargo. We thought maybe we'd only get the first couple of kick times today, but we got the whole enchilada, the whole schedule coming up. We're stoked about it.
I believe that. I believe that. So I want to ask you, there's a ton of money that's going into this, millions of dollars to get into the FBS and the Mountain West and that whole thing. And NDSU is saying, hey, we're raising this money. We've got it. We're good to go. 9 nationally televised games, for example. Is that worth it to you? Is this the impact the university is going to get when you get games like this?
Well, yes and no, I think, to a certain extent on both of them. You'd get some nationally televised games. That's the positive. That's the good part about it for sure. And that just comes with the Mountain West, TV package. That just comes with being part of the conference, that, all conference games are going to be on the CW, Fox Sports, or on CBS Sports Network in some regards. So to see that schedule come out and see you're on FS1 once and you're on CBS Sports Network a number of times, and obviously the CW picked up a number of NDSU's games for this year's schedule, at least. That's the trade-off that you kind of expected, because that comes from the conference, and so that's the TV deal. We knew that going into it. The other side of it was really some of the non-conference to see that you've got a nationally televised Jacksonville State for the first ever game at the FBS level for NDSU, and I love that it's a 4:30 p.m. game. It's not too late. It's not early, though. You get plenty of time to tailgate for the fans, and that's going to be a great game. But then also you get an ESPN game with Sacramento State, and that's going to be a late one, but ESPN picks that one up. So nationally televised, that's the great part of it. With the conference games, I think we knew that was going to happen. We weren't sure about some of the non-conference ones, but to see those get picked up as well, that's great publicity for the program and for the university. And then the flip side of it, I think some of our fans are saying, yeah, they're nationally televised, but we're going to be sleeping at halftime because they're at 9 or 9:30 for that Sacramento State game. And Hawaii obviously is the one we all expected to be late, and that one being a 10 o'clock Central Time kickoff. That's just the way it is when you have to play at Hawaii, which is not every year, but it's going to happen throughout, obviously playing in the Mountain West with Hawaii. So some of the kick times are a little bit later. How much is that going to wane on the national consciousness of every sports fan out there? Some people stay up for those games. Some people won't. Bison fans definitely will, but nationally, I think that's part of the discussion there as well.
I've been in college athletics just at the D2 level myself, and I've always been a big believer. This is the big picture. Sports is the front porch of an institution, no matter where you are. And I believe when you go FBS, you're doing it as an institution. This is not just about football, making money, whatever it is. You're doing it for the university. Do you believe going to this level, these games on these networks? I mean, let's compare this, Andy. 2 nationally televised games for South Dakota State were announced today. 2. Bison have 9. That seems like a huge benefit for the university itself.
No, absolutely. There's no doubt about that one. I mean, every time you get a nationally televised game for any sport and it goes to a commercial break, what happens? They're playing ads that feature your university. I mean, that's just what happens. So you're going to have, NDSU come here for egg and whatever else, and they've got, great facilities and a great place for an education. Like, that's huge for a university standpoint. I also, Nate, think it's big for a state standpoint. I mean, that's what we need to start talking about NDSU football as. If you're the state of North Dakota, it is a tourist attraction. It is a place to go to, and I think it's big for the state. We'll see what it looks like this year compared to the Missouri Valley, but I'm interested to see, games at the Fargo Dome, Mountain West games, conference games, how many road fans come up for it? For Northern Illinois, it is a close one. Wyoming's got a very passionate fan base.
Yeah.
Not this year, but maybe in future years where UNLV or an Air Force or somebody comes up like that. I got a feeling you're going to get a few more fans from those visiting teams than maybe you did from Southern Illinois or Youngstown State. No disrespect to those teams, but those fan bases. But I just think it's going to be a bigger draw for people outside the state coming to the state as well. So I think it's big for the state of North Dakota, the city of Fargo, to get people from all over the state to come to the Fargo Dome now because of the hype around NDSU football moving to the FBS here. And then, like you said, I think it's big for the university. It's unarguable. It's 9 compared to 2, like you said, for SDSU right there. So that's a huge advantage for the school.
Okay, I'm going to ask you a last question, tough question. Will you miss the Dakota marker? Will you miss it?
We're all going to miss it. It was a great game. And the two programs, the 2 football programs and the 2 universities and the 2 fan bases have been great for each other. NDSU got to a point that really pushed SDSU, UND, USD, everybody, right? They were the top of the league, and they were the cream of the crop, and that forced everybody to bring their level up to compete with NDSU. And once SDSU did that on a consistent basis, well, NDSU was getting pushed as well. So the 2 fan bases, the 2 programs really pushed each other. We're going to love still having those games for basketball, men's and women's basketball, and all the other Olympic sports. We'll miss it a little bit for football for sure. That is always a great game. It was always a phenomenal atmosphere. So you miss it a little bit, but the trade-off is absolutely worth it to be going here to the Mountain West, and we'll make some new rivalries there.
Hang on, Andy. You're the play-by-play man for North Dakota State women's basketball. I had the Summit League commissioner on, talked about expanding the men's and women's tournament. He's a proponent of it, saying this is going to be good. He thinks if we were at 76 teams this year, NDSU women would have been in. So you a proponent of expanding the tournament to 76 for mid-majors?
I'm not usually a proponent of it. Now, there's 2 parts to that one. The commissioner is absolutely right, Commissioner Fenton. If the women's tournament had been expanded to 76, NDSU women's basketball was guaranteed. It was in. They were in. There is no argument to that because they were named one of the first 4 teams out. That was named with NDSU in it. So obviously you would have been adding more than 4 teams then, so they would have been in. So no doubt it would have been phenomenal for NDSU women's basketball if they had that rule changed a year ago and they would have been in the NCAA tournament. The other side of that equation is I'm not really a big fan of expanding the tournament because it wasn't broken. And if it ain't broke, don't fix it. I thought it was a perfect tournament the way that it was, and I would love to sit here and tell you that if the same exact scenario plays out this next year, NDSU women's basketball is absolutely in it, or NDSU men's basketball is absolutely in it, or any of your listeners down there in South Dakota. But we all kind of know those extra spots are probably going to high major teams, and so there's no guarantee that NDSU, or let's say NDSU wins it and SDSU finishes second on the women's side. There's no guarantee that those extra spots are going to go to the mid-majors. That's just the fact of the matter. I'd love to say it's definitely going to happen. We'll have to wait and see. I don't think a second team from the men's side of the Summit League is going to get into the tournament, even with these extra spots. I think they're all going to the Big Ten, the SEC, the Big 12, and everybody else. But, I would have been great for this year if NDSU women's basketball could have gotten one of those spots. But we'll have to wait and see for this next year.
Imagine that. The big conferences will get more of the spots. I do know that. Andy Rieckhoff is on tonight here in South Dakota. He's on Bison 1660, covers North Dakota State, has a good show up there. Andy, good to have you on, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks, Nate. Appreciate being on with you.
Andy Rieckhoff on tonight from Fargo, Bison 1660, the station. They cover North Dakota State. He's the play-by-play man for North Dakota State women's basketball. Andy Rieckhoff on the Nate Brown Show tonight. There is the schedule. So, South Dakota fans, I need you to be honest. South Dakota sports fans, be honest tonight. NDSU football gets 9 nationally televised games. Okay, 9 games. CBS Sports Network opener. That's going to be at the Fargo Dome. They're going to have FS1 at Air Force. They're going to be at Air Force on FS1. They're going to be on ESPN, the ESPN, not ESPNU. Okay, Sacramento State. Woof. Anyway, but then they got Wyoming on the CW. How many games they get? Like 4 or 5. something like that on the CW. So the CW is available in everybody's house, everybody's home. I mean, so they got these nationally televised games. I think that's massive for the branding, for the university, for the whole thing. That's why you pay the money. That's why you do everything like that, to get this. The national TV exposure is off the charts. So do you think that has a big impact on the university as a whole? That's my question of the day. I'm gonna bring this to the South Dakota sports fan tonight on the Nate Brown Show. Text line is this, 605-720-1067. There's the text line. Do you think the 9 nationally televised games for NDSU has a big impact on the university as a whole? This is the argument people make now. It's like, it's just sports and they lose money. They're going to lose money. Do you think it has a big impact on the university positively as a whole? 9 nationally televised games. That's my question of the day. Be honest. Tell me your take. South Dakota State, I understand we're in the FCS, but I have all these people telling me the FCS is still the thing. It's still, we're going to win. We're going to do this. We got a playoff. I understand, but the 9 nationally televised games is hard for me to take. Hard for me to take if I'm sitting here in South Dakota. That's tough. Especially if you don't like the Bison. Coming right back on our question of the day, you tell me, how big of an impact does that have on the university as a whole? 9 TV games announced today. National coverage for the Bison. 2 for South Dakota State, for example. The USD-SDSU game's on. And then SDSU playing Northwestern's on the Big Ten Network, and that's it. So you tell me how much of an impact on the text line. We come back with that. And we got a Viking story that, oh boy, I think we got to look at this Viking story out of OTAs today with J.J. McCarthy coming up.
This is South Dakota's Sports Talk Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's May 2028. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with 0 regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps one minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
Are there as many kinds of vehicles as there are kinds of people? We think so. At Black Hills Federal Credit Union, we help all kinds of people come together with all kinds of vehicles. With loans made to fit everyone and every ride.
South Dakota's sports talk show, The Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome back. The Nate Brown Show live. You've got us, Fox Sports Radio, KWSN Sioux Falls, and Fox Sports Rapid City. South Dakota Sports Talk Show asking South Dakota sports fans a question of the day. Kind of smacks you. It smacked me today right between the running lights. Knocked my lung loose. When I see the TV schedule for North Dakota State, I'm jealous. I'm jealous. I mean, this is the type of stuff that's why you go FBS, guys, if you're honest. I understand the money. I mean, it's expensive. The budgets. I understand. You do understand. People were arguing about Tim Polasek making $1 million, the head coach of North Dakota State, just last week. And now they got these 9 games on national TV, and that seems a little trivial, doesn't it? Come on, wake up. Tim Polasek shouldn't make $1 million. It's too much. Yeah, I know. It's too much wherever. This is the price of doing business, and this is why you do this business. You want to be at this level. So 9 nationally televised games coming out. We're talking, just picture it. And that's why it hit me right between the running lights. I got the list right in front of me. It's like, man, it's not just one game. It's not just SDSU USD, which is our game. That's a great game. And then they stuff it on ESPNU. And it was like, what? I mean, the ESPNU numbers have not been very good, even in the past of big games. Okay, they've had the Dakota marker on that too. So South Dakota State and USD, our nationally televised game, it's going to be on. That's great. October 31st, Halloween is going to be, and they say ESPN or ESPN2 or ESPNU. How about the Ocho? Is that available? But, so it's more than likely going to be ESPNU is my guess. They get to decide. And then SCSU's playing Northwestern in the Big Ten, so they're on the Big Ten network, which is great. But then it stops there. And that's what I mean by that's why you go FBS. This is why you go FBS. This is just being in the Mountain West Conference gets you a game against Jacksonville State on the CBS Sports Network to open the year. It gets you a game at San Jose State at the end of the year on CBS Sports Network. Just a no name, not conference game. But you know what that gets you? You're on those TV channels. And it just creates so much marketing power and exposure. Just so much. So I think it's massive, and I see the schedule. Sacramento State hosting NDSU is going to be on ESPN. ESPN. And that's wild to me. So FS1, Air Force NDSU on FS1. This is, I'm jealous, man. This is why I keep saying the Jacks and the Yotes got to keep pushing. They got to keep pushing. They got to get ready. I know people, they will go to their death saying the FCS is the best. And I see the media guys saying, it's the playoffs. We've got a playoff. Nobody worries about the FCS playoff except for people in the playoff. That's who worries about the FCS playoff. We like the FCS playoff, but nobody really watches that until like the last game. There's going to be more people watching NDSU at Air Force on FS1 than any of those, basically. So that's the difference. And how big of an impact for the university? Let's see what you say. NDSU gets 9 nationally televised games announced today. How big of an impact for the university as a whole do you believe that is? 75% say it's huge, big national branding. 25% of the Twitter audience say no, not a big school impact. Not a big school impact. Listener text, the 9 national games for NDSU is absolutely huge. You tell me, 605-720-1067 on the text line. Okay, I have a Viking story I want to hit right now. Really quick. This is something. So I'm going to read 2 answers to questions today. So Kyler Murray was at OTAs, and your guy J.J. McCarthy was at OTAs. They asked the 2 quarterbacks the same question. Can you talk about your relationship thus far with Kyler Murray, with J.J. McCarthy? So here's the answer. Kyler Murray, they say, this is the Minnesota media, describe your relationship with J.J. McCarthy thus far. Kyler Murray, quote, it's been great. Obviously, he's a younger guy, so any way I can help him, I feel like I've played 7 years going on 8. I'm considered a veteran, even though I don't see myself as that, but giving him any knowledge he needs. That's Kyler Murray. Everybody thinks Kyler's a bad guy, huh? He's just immature. He's a bad leader. That's a pretty good answer. It's been great. He's a younger guy. Give him any knowledge he needs. Okay, that's Kyler's answer. Not bad. Pretty good. Vikings quarterback J.J. McCarthy asked today, can you describe your relationship thus far with Kyler Murray? J.J. McCarthy, quote, it's just like 2 guys in a classroom. He sits on one side, I sit on the other. It's the coach's responsibility to teach us and coach us. I'm trying to find, did he say, Kyler's been great? I didn't see that. He sits on one side, I sit on the other. It's the coach's responsibility to teach us and coach us. Oh, boy. Now we got a problem. J.J. McCarthy's going to act like that? J.J.'s going to act like, Kyler, it's been good to get to know him. I appreciate him being here. We're going to push each other. We're going to do I need to give him any notes here? I mean, can I do a PR firm for JJ? Help him out? Is he going to act like that, guys? This ball game's over. So JJ, better to act good now, just in case you might get another opportunity somewhere. But then throwing stuff, it's like 2 guys in the classroom. I sit on one side, he sits on the other. It's the coach's responsibility to teach us and coach us, as opposed to Kyler Murray. It's been great. This is a relationship with JJ. It's been great. He's a younger guy. Any way I can help him, I'll give him any knowledge he needs. Oh, boy. What a guy. JJ's going to lose his spot, and he's already bailing. He's already bailing. I don't want a guy like that. I thought JJ was big leader, captain, number 9. I don't want a guy like that hanging around that's going to pout. Coming right back on the Nate Brown Show, the wildest AD quote I've seen in a while. This is an athletic director quote today. It's a wild one coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
How do you make a buffet day even better? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade is your place for good food and good times. Won the big game? Make it a play day. Aced your test? Make it a play day. Just need to get out of the house? Make it a play day. The Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade has all your favorites and all kinds of fun. So bring your family, bring your friends, bring your team. For good food and good times, make it a buffet day and a play day at the Pizza Ranch and Fun Zone Arcade.
Mom, can we please go to Watiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Watiki? What's so special about it?
Are you kidding? It's got slides, fountains, a lazy river, everything. And it's just a short drive to Rapid City. If we stay at one of the hotels, we get water park passes for free.
Wow, you really did your homework. Okay, what do you say we pack our swimsuits and hit Waikiki this weekend?
Yes, best mom ever.
Unlock your adventure at WaikikiWaterPark.com.
Whether you're a pro or a Joe, a weekend warrior or a gardening great, Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine is here when you need us. Nobody plans an injury, but when people throughout the Black Hills and beyond suffer a setback, Monument Health Orthopedics is here to provide comprehensive medical care. Our team of board-certified orthopedic surgeons and specialists is dedicated to helping patients regain the quality of life they've lost due to an injury, arthritis, or joint wear and tear. Monument Health Orthopedics and Sports Medicine for everyday athletes like you.
This summer, drive with certified confidence at Denny Menno Rushmore Honda. Get financing as low as 1.29% APR on Honda certified pre-owned. Choose from Accords, CRVs, and HRVs with financing as low as 1.29% APR. Plus, shop a massive selection of used imports and domestics with over 340 used vehicles. Finding the right one for you is easy. Drive with confidence all summer long. See us at Denny Menno Rushmore Honda or RushmoreHonda.com. Length of finance contract is limited with qualified credit. Expires 6/30/26.
KIMM Rapid City and K294BT Rapid City, the Black Hills Sports Station, 106.7 FM and 1150 AM. Fox Sports Rapid City.
Whether you run the race, make the catch, cast a line, pitch a tent, or just look good doing it, Shields Rapid City has your gear. From athletic clothing from your favorite team, cold weather gear to keep you warm, to the best camping selection this side of the Black Hills, and the most stylish and functional women's outerwear and footwear, Shields has the widest selection of the best brands in the business. So when you're ready to get out, get in the game, or get going, get to Shields. Shields, we're right there with you at Rushmore Crossing in Rapid City.
Isn't it time for new windows and doors from Renewal by Anderson? With mortgage interest rates where they are right now, so many people are renovating their own homes rather than moving. And there's never been a better time to invest in awesome new windows and doors from Renewal by Anderson. Renewal by Anderson's legendary windows have been the best you can get for decades, but many people don't know that Renewal by Anderson also has incredible new ensemble entry doors and the entire Acclaim line of replacement windows, which are winning rave reviews from clients. Renewal by Anderson's windows, ensemble entry doors, and the entire Acclaim line of replacement windows will make your home so much more energy efficient on cold winter nights or hot summer days. Those new windows and doors will make your home so much more quiet and secure. We hear that all the time. Please visit RBARapidCity.com to schedule a free consultation. Be sure to ask about our great offers and really attractive financing options right now. Renewal by Anderson Windows and Entry Doors. Isn't it time?
One more time.
This is the Nate Brown Show. From the biggest national names to the hottest stories across South Dakota. Welcome to the Nate Brown Show. Here's your host, Nate Brown.
One more time.
All right, welcome in. Second hour, ready to go. We're here on a Wednesday. Glad you're here. Mainly, I appreciate that. The Nate Brown Show is on Fox Sports Radio across the state. South Dakota Sports Talk Show on Fox Sports Rapid City and KWSN Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Two great guests coming up. We'll go to State Track, get ready for this weekend. State Track getting ready to roll. Some high-profile opportunities here. Rapid City Stevens, I've seen some records being set. Look out, Alex Heinert, the State Track announcer, a great broadcaster. He's the guy that knows State Track, and he's in tonight. So we'll talk to Alex coming up, get a preview of the State Track meet. We'll go national with Jerry Brewer, longtime NBA writer, columnist for The Athletic. What's his take on the rest of the OKC Spurs series? That was a mess last night with Wemby. I mean, I'm rooting for the Spurs. I don't like OKC. I mean, the flopping here and the falling there and the goofy stuff. So I'm going Spurs, and Wemby was a no-show. It was like, I mean, that's one of the worst games I've seen him play all year. He played harder against Jokic of the regular season game I was at in Denver, a regular season game, and he played way better. Last night, there was something not going right there. Spurs in trouble here a little bit. Have to win now in San Antonio. Jerry Brewer's covering it. National columnist for The Athletic. Great sports writer. His read on that coming up. 5 questions from Chris tonight. That is on the way, so hang on. It is a Wednesday on the Nate Brown Show. So we got 5 questions from Chris. But I have a question. I just have to read part of this. So there was a statement released by Arkansas's athletic director today. I'm like, you go into the day, you're planning, you're thinking, we're going to hit on this. I never thought I'd get a statement from the Arkansas athletic director for the Nate Brown Show. But this is just great. This is a dandy. So follow me on this. The football schedules came out today for the TV times. So I just hit on that with NDSU and all their games that they have through the Mountain West and all that. So the athletic director at Arkansas releases a big statement. He puts it out with the logo and everything. It's fancy. And he's upset that some of their games, actually one of their games is going to be too late. No, this is real. Hang on. Hunter Yurchek, that's the athletic director at Arkansas. Statement, I am extremely concerned and displeased about the recently released kickoff times for our football program in consecutive weeks this September. ESPN has set our game at Utah for 9:15 Central Time on September 12th. We anticipate returning to campus around 6 a.m. the next morning, followed by an 11 a.m. home kickoff 6 days later against Georgia. The assigned schedule will cost our student-athletes nearly a full day of rest and recovery that would have been available to them. This is a competitive disadvantage. The focus must be on the well-being of the game's participants, not the bottom line of our media partner. Hang on a second. Why am I even discussing this? I mean, you're saying, well, that's late. I mean, these late games, that's late. Hey, Hunter, how much money do you get paid by ESPN? That's kind of interesting. You can't say squat. Arkansas, the SEC, takes the money. I mean, they take the money. They love the money. They want to charge ESPN and Fox, all these guys, so much money to make your head spin. And they're going to complain that they got to play Utah at 9:15 Central Time, but they want to take the money, but they don't want ESPN to schedule late games because ESPN's putting all these games on. Is this guy just clueless? He actually put out a statement. What is going on today? Is this guy clueless? How can you release a statement? You're an athletic director at an SEC institution. You take the money, and then he's complaining about the late start. This is absolutely unbelievable. Can I find a place for him? What is this guy doing? This is not good. This type of scheduling is unacceptable and demonstrates a clear neglect for the well-being of college athletes. How'd that SEC conference go when you expanded? How'd that go with the travel? Didn't you guys think it was okay to travel across the country too? Now, I know this game's not a conference one, it's Utah. But remember, when they expanded, everybody complains about traveling cross country. But they did it because they wanted the money. I mean, that might be the dumbest. He's totally lost the plot here. I mean, that is the dumbest thing I've ever seen. Hey, ESPN, can you not schedule our game so late? This is bad. We gotta not do this stuff. But we like the money because we gotta have the money. All right, let's get to this.
It's time for 5 questions from Chris on the Nate Brown Show.
All right, Chris, you ready? 5 questions from Chris on the Nate Brown Show tonight. Question 1. Nate, when a company like ESPN brands itself as a trusted source for sports news, should it still provide strong coverage of sports it no longer has broadcast rights to? Chris says ESPN's baseball coverage is down. Events like the Indy 500 down because they don't have that. NASCAR, he says, it's not the same. Well, Chris, the easy answer is yes, ESPN as a sports news company should cover everything like that. But again, they're too busy covering wrestling. I just talked about this a couple of weeks ago. They promoted wrestling, WrestleMania, because they have the deal. I mean, how dumb. Come on. Yes, they should cover sports. This is a sports company. But no, they don't do it the same. They know where their bread's buttered, and And then they have to put up with guys complaining about 9:15 games that they paid. Anyway, question number 2. World Cup's only a couple of weeks away, so I've got to ask, do you think the U.S. men's national team will survive the group stage and make a run? The group includes Paraguay, Australia, and Turkey. I couldn't tell you, Chris. I'm going to be honest. My expectations for U.S. men's national team, I have no clue. We should be good. We should get out of there. Paraguay, Australia, Turkey. I mean, are these guys going to light us up? Are they going to light us up? We got to get out of that group. I like that group. Let's get out of it. Yes, we're going to make it. I'm excited for the World Cup, Chris. We will make it out of the group stage. Famous last words. Question number 3. Nate, earlier this season, I asked whether the Tigers should trade Tarek Skubal, their star pitcher. Now they've snapped an 8-game losing streak, but they're still in last in the AL Central. If they're still below 500 at the All-Star break, do you think you move Skubal and start a rebuild? You probably do. Chris, by the way, a little side note. Chris' favorite team is the Detroit Tigers. Do you know that, audience? So that's a question for Chris. I guess he runs this show. Yes, you do. If you're way down, this is the AL Central. It's not that good anyway. And you're way down, Skubal, you got to get something for him. You're not going anywhere. I do think about trading Skubal, your ace. Question number 4. Over the last 20 years, 12 NBA champions have come from the Western Conference, only 8 from the East. Do you think NBA owners would ever support this idea we had last week of no Eastern or Western Conference, just the top 16 teams to get to a finals format? No, I don't think they will. I like it. It's out of the box. I like it. You don't have to have West versus East, but I think that'd be okay. Just top 16 teams, break up the conferences, just have them play, but owners will never go for it. They're looking at their bottom line as well, and travel and money and that whole thing for the regular season, so it would blow the whole thing up. So no, it will be Eastern Conference versus Western Conference from here on out in the NBA Finals, no doubt. Question number 5. 5 questions from Chris. If the college football playoff eventually goes to 24 teams, do you think conferences and administrators will eliminate the first round buys altogether? No, I don't think so either. No, the big guys who have buys at the beginning, yeah, they're going to have buys. I mean, they love giving the big boys buys and rest, even though it maybe doesn't play out that always wins games, but it's going to be a long season in college football. If you're one of the top teams, you're going to get buys. You're going to make the little guys battle each other and then just get smoked in the second and third round. Just absolutely drilled. So, no, buys are coming. 24 teams? Not yet. 5 questions from Chris in the books. Jerry Brewer, national columnist for The Athletic. Does he think Wembanyama is an generational face of the NBA, or still up and down like last night? Jerry's coming up.
This is the Nate Brown Show.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number 1. So you can always be their number 1. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number 1 hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch, with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's May 2028. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with zero regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps 1 minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
Stores in Rapid City. This month's specials include all Grey Goose Vodka 750s for $26.99. Or save $4 off handles of Jose Cuervo Gold and Silver Tequila, now only $34.99. Price is good at both Mr. Liquor stores in Rapid City. Off Catron next to Walmart, or the original Mr. Liquor on the corner of West Chicago and Sturgis Road in Rapid City. Plus, follow Mr. Liquor on Facebook for in-store events, allocated bourbon drops, and exclusive in-store barrel picks.
You're listening to The Nate Brown Show, also streaming right now on X. Follow us and watch the show live at Nate Brown Show.
All right, welcome in. Glad you're here tonight. On your drive home, Fox Sports Radio. Our affiliates are KWSN, Fox Sports Sioux Falls, Fox Sports Rapid City. Welcome in. The Nate Brown Show on tonight. If you missed parts of the live radio show, go to the podcast. You can listen to us anytime on demand. Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcast. Just put in The Nate Brown Show, and then you've got every show from high school to college to the pros. Some great guests tonight. Matt Brown joined us tonight. Really good. Extra points. If you haven't had that college sports business stuff, he's founded Extra Points. One of the best guys in the country, I think. So Matt Brown from Extra Points was on tonight talking about this U.S. Senate bill. I don't know. Man, it's interesting. Ted Cruz, Maria Cantwell put it out. There's going to be stuff that gets through on this. So big one for out of the U.S. Senate. Matt Brown was on. Let's go to Jerry Brewer. Great writer, columnist, The Athletic. Talk some NBA. Jerry, welcome on. How are you?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate your time. You've covered the league. You've covered the NBA. You've seen the best of the best. I'm on a text thread with some buddies. I've told them Wembanyama is the face of the NBA over the next 10 years, no doubt in my mind. They're giving me trash, saying this guy can't even be consistent. I mean, you're jumping the gun here. So is Wembanyama the face of the NBA, or is he just another guy who's up and down?
There's no doubt about it. He's the face of the NBA. It's a little unorthodox, right? But you're also like, hey, this guy's like 7'4", 7'5", 7'6", 7'7". Like, I wish we could just like measure him ourselves, because it seems like everybody's got a different measurement for him. But he's at least 7'4". He's only 22 years old, and he's got this array of skills that remind you of Kevin Durant at like 6 inches shorter, right? And so it looks a little awkward from time to time. In Game 5, he was really lethargic, and I think maybe just the schedule, like it's really late now in the season in the conference finals. He's never been this far, and having to play every other day at that level against that level of physicality that the reigning champion Thunder are bringing, I think it's starting to weigh on him. But this San Antonio team should not be anywhere near a championship. And I think if they win Game 6, they have an alien's chance at going to the NBA Finals. And, that should tell you how good Wemby is.
Do you think there's validity to this? His minutes, they did the load management stuff with him in the regular season. The Spurs are famous for that with Kawhi and everything else. So they did some of that.
They started it.
Yeah. So they did some of that, maybe not to an extreme with Wemby, but is there validity to he played 28 minutes and now he's got to go 40 and now he's just running out of gas? He doesn't have enough to play games this long.
I think there's something to it in that you haven't let Secretariat run, and like everything in the NBA playoffs is like the Kentucky Derby, the longest race you've ever run and the most competitive race you've ever run. The guy's in special physical conditioning for someone his size, so I think he's able to overcome it. But I think they have had too many kid gloves with him during the regular season, and it'll be interesting to see what they do moving forward. And he doesn't like a lot of this stuff, so what does he demand moving forward? But again, I think from San Antonio's standpoint, no one this big who moves like this has ever played in the NBA. Ralph Sampson is the closest comp. And what happened to Ralph Sampson? Ralph Sampson got injured before his time. Yao Ming, who weighs a tremendous amount more than Wemby, but around the same height, what happened to Yao Ming? Got injured, right? Like, he's never going to play just like that plodding big man game that allows most big men to last for a long time. And how you manage that, I'm not sure. But they're going to have whatever happens by the end of this year, they're going to say, hey, either we came up short or we won the championship. But whatever happens, they're going to be like, we're very much in our championship window. How do we maximize this? And there'll have to be some conversations about it.
Jerry Brewer on tonight from The Athletic, talking Wemby, Spurs OKC. Great series. I've watched every game. That was Wemby's worst game, I think, of the playoffs last night. And then he didn't talk to the media afterwards. Is that a big deal?
Yeah, I mean, when you're the face of the franchise and the face of the league, Michael Jordan sat his butt up there and talked after every game, right? Like Kobe did it. Shaq didn't, right? But like he was never like at that level of those guys. Like LeBron, 99% of the time has Magic and Bird. Who didn't like talking to anybody. I don't think he even likes talking to his family. He talked after every game, and like how many devastating losses to each other did Magic and Bird have, and they had to be the face of the league. That's the responsibility, right? Like, and that's the difference in like, hey, do you want to be this global icon, or do you want to be somebody who's more like Jokic or Luka, who are great NBA superstars, and Jokic may go down as the best pure center ever. But in terms of being that marketable face and the guy who holds the league down, he doesn't have the desire or the personality to. And I know that was a devastating loss, and Wemby played terrible, but, bruh, it's Game 5. Like, you still got a chance to win this series. But I love that he takes losses hard, but you have to remember the big picture here.
Okay, what do you say about OKC, Jerry, about the foul baiting? And, they say it's SGA, but I'm watching the game. There's other guys, too. So is this an OKC strategy? Do you think it's a bad thing to watch?
It can be, yes. It's unfortunate because I think a lot of that gets in the way of some of the stuff that I love from that team, which is, and this is coming from somebody who lives in Seattle who would just rather they not exist, right? They're the best ball hawking defensive team I think I've ever seen. Like with just how many guys can guard people, and how it feels almost like you're watching a high school team press. Even though they're only playing half court defense, like the ball is in jeopardy at all times. I love that about their style of play. Like they play physical and with force on defense, but yes, they have manipulated the whistle. And yes, Shea, who I think would be an MVP without doing all of this, does a lot of crap that it's like, man, let's play some basketball here. Stop all of that. It looks bad, and it's a bad look for the game, for the very best team in the league for the last 2 years. To engage in that type of play.
Let me go to the Eastern Conference Finals. Knicks sweep the Cavs. Knicks swept the 76ers. Knicks are in the finals. Rapid City's own Becky Hammond, Aces coach, she played high school basketball here in Rapid City. She said Jalen Brunson's a great player, but you can't win the NBA Finals if your best player's a small guy. She's still hanging on to that. She said, he might prove me wrong, but I still believe that. Do you believe that?
Yes, I do believe it. I think people need to get off of Becky Hammond's case, and it's interesting to me that all of these, they're either antagonists, agitators, or they're just New York Knicks fans want to try to dunk on her now. Her point wasn't about winning a ragtag Eastern Conference. It's about winning a championship, and everybody thinks the New York Knicks are on this destiny course. They were the number 3 seed in the East, Nate. Yeah. And they haven't played a higher seed yet, right? Because Detroit got bounced by Cleveland, and you could say Detroit and Cleveland are fairly similar, even though it was a 1-4. But the number 1 seed, the team that won 60 games in the regular season, got bounced. The Knicks didn't have to face them. And then the Celtics lost their mind in the first round and lost to the Sixers, so they didn't have to face them either. The level of competition, the difference between the Cavs and either the Spurs or the Thunder, it's JV versus varsity. So I would be really careful in just trying to say that Becky Hammond is all wrong right now. You have to – could Jalen Brunson and could this Knicks team beat the odds? Yes, but to ignore that there are odds is ignoring basketball history. And I love Jalen Brunson as a player, but he's not Steph Curry. And Steph Curry, as great as Steph is in winning 4 championships, the first one that he won when Iguodala was the MVP, that was maybe the deepest team we've seen in recent basketball memory. OKC might argue with me there. And then 2 championships when KD was the MVP of the finals, and then he's finals MVP, and they break through and beat Boston. But look at the wear and tear and all that's done on Steph's body, and he's an aberration historically. And this is still a league in which the tallest, most skilled guys dominate the league. And I'm still old enough, Nate, and you're old enough, Nate, to remember when people thought Michael Jordan couldn't do it at 6'6".
Yeah.
There's no way when your best player is 6'6" and you need him to score 35 points a game that you're going to win a championship. And so it took, 50 years, almost 50 years of NBA history for a guy to break that. And then now we're in 80 years of NBA history, and the only guy that you can truly say broke that is Steph. And you could say Isaiah Thomas and the Bad Boy Pistons a little bit, but that was such a well-balanced team. And Isaiah wasn't at the peak of his powers. He really kind of streamlined his game to kind of fit. the Knicks are so highly dependent on Jalen Brunson. And think about what he's going to have to face in the finals. Like, either he's going to be looking at a bunch of dogs led by Stephon Castle with the Spurs, or he's going to have to face a bunch of dogs led by Lou Dort and Cason Wallace and Alex Caruso, and if they happen to be healthy, Jalen Williams and A.J. Mitchell and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, and you're asking a guy who's 6'2" to go against that caliber. Like, that is what Becky is talking about, and her point still has validity, even if she's proven wrong. She's proven wrong by Jalen Brunson being one of two anomalies in NBA history.
Jerry Brewer in tonight. Great to have him talking hoops. Game 6, big. Spurs OKC coming up. TheAthletic.com national columnist. Jerry, always appreciate your time. Thanks a lot.
Oh, anytime, man.
Appreciate it. Jerry Brewer, follow him at Jerry Brewer on Twitter. Find him at The Athletic, national columnist, live on South Dakota Sports Talk Show. Good stuff from Jerry. Yeah, Becky Hammond, you saw those headlines. She said a long time ago, if your best player's small, you can't win the NBA Finals. And so she said, Jalen Brunson, that's the best player for the Knicks. They can't win with your best player being a guard like that. And she was just asked about it again. She said, I'm going to stick with that. I'm going to stick with it. All right. I'm coming back with Alex Heinert. We're going to go state track coming up here in South Dakota. He's one of the best track announcers, and we've got him next.
This is South Dakota's Sports.
There's nothing like it. Not for hundreds of miles in any direction. A gathering space for all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds. To share, to revel, to stand together and celebrate life's greatest moments.
We are number one. So you can always be their number one. Black Hills Surgical Hospital and Black Hills Orthopedic and Spine Center. The number one hospital in the nation for major orthopedic surgery.
It's time for an upgrade, and don't spend a dime for 2 years. That's right, 0 zip zilch, with no money down, no interest, and no payments for 24 months. That's May 2028. Say goodbye to drafts and outdated design, and hello to our acclaimed replacement windows and our stunning ensemble entry doors. Get energy-efficient windows and doors and beautiful upgrades with zero regrets. Call today or visit RBARapidCity.com to book your free estimate.
What do you call a place? It's one of Deadwood's largest casinos, but is it really a casino? Because you can't decide, should I play or eat or wait, there's a liquor-infused ice cream bar? I mean, you're playing craps 1 minute and the next you're looking at a charcuterie board? What even is that? Never mind the gunfight outside, you don't have time for that. You've got espressos to down and games to bet on and a pub with 48 whiskeys? What do you even call a place like that?
I didn't know anything about radon. I didn't know it's a gas you can't see or smell. I didn't know it's radioactive from decaying uranium deep underground. It can seep through cracks in your foundation and collect in your house. 1 in 15 homes have high levels, and you don't know if yours is one of them unless you have your home tested. And radon? Well, radon is the second leading cause of lung cancer in America. I wish I would have known that.
Call Blackburn Foundation Repair for radon testing and mitigation.
There are 1 billion credit card transactions around the world every day. That's 11,698 swipes a second. It's easy to forget that behind each one, there's a person, a family, a dream, a connection being made. The Black Hills Federal Credit Union Visa, for members who want to make the most of every transaction.
Sports Talk Show, The Nate Brown Show.
Welcome back in. The Nate Brown Show is live tonight. Fox Sports Radio. Glad you're here across the state. Fox Sports Rapid City and KWSN Fox Sports Sioux Falls. Remember the Nate Brown Show podcast available on Apple, Spotify, Amazon, wherever you get your podcasts. Hit us and you've got us. On demand. You can listen when you're available. The Nate Brown Show podcast. We had Rob Bishop on last night, SDSU head baseball coach. Good discussion with him from the Jacks playing the Huskers coming up Friday to baseball recruiting now in this new landscape of sports. Good stuff. Matt Brown was on tonight. Extra Points, college sports business insider. He's really good. There's some big college sports news with that U.S. Senate bill today. Matt Brown was in. So go to the Nate Brown Show podcast. You got every show, every guest. Hey, State Track. It's getting ready. State Track, Sioux Falls. One of the best announcers. I think he does a great job. Alex Heinert, broadcaster and PA, and he's got it covered. He's going to be covering State Track Meet in South Dakota. Alex, welcome back on. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great, Nate. Thanks for having me. Yeah, excited for this weekend for sure.
Okay, let me get your take here. You're getting prepared and the whole thing. State Track has been, without getting into all the weeds, and this team might get a record. We have some great performers. Just your overall perception of South Dakota State Track competition.
I think in general, if you look at what kids from this state have done nationally in recent years and the things that they've gone on to accomplish collegiately after having great high school careers, there has certainly been a progression. It's kind of a golden age right now of track and field for South Dakota kids. And I think just that sort of excitement, that level being raised, and you see records broken every year and you see kids go on to do great things, I think it just builds excitement for the sport to know I can be from Rapid City and go be a Big Ten champion or an Olympian. Or I can be from Martin, South Dakota. I can be from Pierre. I can be from Aberdeen. I can be from any place, and I can go on and have success. I don't have to be from the coast or from a big city. I think that really has raised, the interest in the sport across the state, and it's led to some incredible performances that have really echoed throughout the nation in recent years.
It's interesting. Track doesn't always get the coverage. I mean, I've had Simeon Birnbaum on, I've had coaches on, and we try and do that, but it's not always mainstream, made for sports radio and all this and that. You've been as part of State Track. Why'd you carve out this angle? You have a passion for it. Why'd you become the State Track guy?
Well, that was my favorite sport in high school, and so I was a White River, South Dakota high school runner, and that was the biggest deal to get to come to run at state. I think that's White River, since I graduated, has become known for basketball with Louis Krogman and Joe Seiler and people like that. Eldon Marshall, obviously, leading the charge for so long. But when I was there, we were awful, Nate, at football and basketball. We didn't win. I don't know. We won maybe 4 games in basketball my senior year. Track was the one thing, and like some other, like theater and oral interp and things like that. But track was the one sport that we were good at, and so it was awesome to get to come and run at Howard Wood Field, and I got to qualify for state in a number of different events and had a chance to experience that, and it was just so captivating to me to be a kid and to hear Greg Merrigan call my name, running in lane 6 or whatever for White River High School. And I just really loved it. And when I kind of moved on into the broadcasting space and into the sports media space, it just seemed like people didn't really cover this sport very much. And the kids, that are doing these incredible things probably weren't getting the recognition that they deserve. And it just seemed to be a good opportunity to, hey, let's shout out what these kids are doing and how amazing this is. These young men and women in your own backyard are going on to do awesome things. Let's talk about that. So I just plugged in as a volunteer, and and did awards announcing and covered the sport for Midcoast Sports for a long time. And it's been, just an awesome, a really special thing for me to be a part of, because it's for my state. These are for the kids in my state, and I get to do a lot of different things nationally now with my career, but it's really special to do something for the people who are from where you are from. And this is one way that I feel like I can kind of give back and pay that forward.
Great track announcer, broadcaster, Alex Heinert, covering the state track meet this week, coming up in Sioux Falls. He's here on the Nate Brown Show. I want to get into it a little bit here. You may be doing your prep work still, but Rapid City Stevens on the girls' side has some record-breaking stuff, something that I've got my eye on. Anybody else that you're kind of watching coming in?
Well, that's certainly from a West River perspective. I mean, that's one of the big talking points. Can Stevens get back to the top on the girls' side? They had that incredible run, top 13 in a row, however many state championships they won, but they have not won a state team title since 2015. And it looks like Paul Hendry has the team that could do it this year. That AA girls race is going to be very close between Stevens and Lincoln, the defending champions. Harrisburg has so many great distance kids, like they'll be certainly in the mix as well. But Stevens probably going into the meet are the favorites. And a big reason why is because they have the greatest collection of female sprinters in state history. They have just rewritten the record books in the 4x1. They have an incredible 4x2 squad. Ella Bradeen and Ava Holsworth and Maya Kachikian. And they have a ton of girls who are outstanding. And between that and the jump, where they've got two of the 6 best jumpers all time in the state, that's going to give them a decent opportunity to maybe bring a state title back home to Rapid City. So that's one big one, I think, from a team perspective, West River. Tate Grabow of Hill City has got a chance to go 3 for 3 in the distances. He's a 2-time state cross-country champ. He's a kid that has the best time in Class A in the 800, the 1600, and the 3200. He'll certainly be one to watch for. In Class B, we talked about Bennett County. They're the great hope for West River, South Dakota on the B side. And it's the O'Neill family single-handedly is going to try and win another state championship, which is exciting. And so Reagan O'Neill and Payson O'Neill and their younger sister Jade O'Neill and their cousin Harley Harris are ranked first, second, or third in some order in the 100, the 200, the hurdles, the triple jump, the high jump, the long jump. They're going to set a record in the 4x1 again, likely this year. So there's a lot of really good things to talk about. So those are some of the first ones that come to mind when you look at West River, South Dakota this year.
How about the AA boys, teams to beat? Who's the team in AA boys?
This is the easiest race to call of the 6 because Sioux Falls Lincoln is maybe going to set a record for the most points scored ever at a AA state meet or at a state meet, period. This is a team that just doesn't have any flaws. They have top kids in almost literally every event. They've got a great cross-country program. I think they have won 5 of the last 7 AA state cross-country titles. So they have great depth there. Even though if none of those kids win a state championship individually, they're going to, kids like Tyrus Needles and Miles Lechtenberg, and they're going to finish like 2nd and 4th and just rack up points in the 16 and the 32 and the 4x8 in the medley. And they have this incredible, much like Stevens, they have this incredible collection of sprinters on the boys' side that have the number 1 times in the 4x1, the 4x2, and the 4x4 all time. And not just the top time, but times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They have 7 of the top 10 all time in the 4x2. Like, that's ridiculous.
Wow. So
it's pretty unassailable what they, and then all those kids will run 2 relays and they'll run 2 open events and they'll finish 1st, 2nd, and 4th, or 1st, 3rd, 5th, and they have the best high jumper in the state, and they have the best triple jumper in the state. So Sioux Falls Lincoln on the AA boys side is an absolute juggernaut, and they're going to be a fun team to watch all throughout the weekend. And they've done it essentially without their best kid. Mikey Roach hasn't run all season.
Wow.
He was their best returning athlete from last year. I just give them, James Jarofsky and their coaching staff, a ton of credit for the culture that they've helped continue. A winning tradition, as they say, that will likely continue this weekend.
You referenced him, Alex, and you've covered him at state track over the years. Rapid City Stevens, great record holder, state record holder, Simeon Birnbaum. He's got the number 1 time in the 1500 in the NCAAs. Is he going to be in the 2028 Olympics? Do you believe that?
And that's a loaded question. On the trajectory that he is at, yes. So he's the NCAA record holder in the 1,500 meters. He just did that earlier this year at his home track in Oregon. He just won a handful of Big Ten titles, helping the Ducks win their 2nd straight Big Ten outdoor championship down in Lincoln. But I think it's not just that he's so versatile. I mean, he's an incredible 800 runner all the way up to a 5K in cross country. And he could probably do the 10K on the track as well if need be. And we've seen this since high school. But
crazy.
I was doing a track meet for Runner's Space. And it was a Hayward Field meet, and Oregon is running, and Simeon ran, I don't know what he ran in the 800. It was the third best time in the country. And we get done, and the gentleman I was doing commentary with, a man named Tom Fjord, who's been a part of the track and field family for a long, long time, said, "This is the most talented kid since Steve Prefontaine that we have had come through the United States."
Wow.
So that's pretty high praise.
Let's go.
So,
I like it.
I mean, I'm telling you. So that's really exciting. Health, obviously, is the big thing. Can you stay healthy? I know Simeon struggled a bit early in his Oregon career, just working through a stress fracture and different things, but he's healthy now, and he said it in an interview after he broke that 1,500 record. Hey, it feels unbelievable to do hard things, but they don't feel hard. That's a really good spot to be in for this young man.
What a guy to watch, and we'll continue watching him. Alex Heinert's in State Track this weekend. Great coverage from Alex. I appreciate you, man. Thanks a lot.
No, of course, Nate. Yeah, looking forward to it. It's always awesome. One of the best weekends of the year.
Appreciate your time. Alex Heinert on tonight, State Track announcer and broadcaster. Who's hot and who's not next?
This is the Nate Brown Show.
Sagging, bouncing, or uneven floors? Call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Standing water or high humidity? Nasty odors or dangerous mold? Call Blackburn. Critters, bugs, or other pests? That's right, call Blackburn. It's a fact. Crawl space problems don't get better with time, but they do get better when you call Blackburn Foundation Repair. Call Blackburn Foundation Repair today.
At Dakota Bank, we're more than just a place to bank. We're your neighbors. From everyday banking to home mortgages, insurance, and trust services, we're here for every step of your financial journey. We believe in doing what's right for you because we live here, work here, and care about our communities just like you do. Go with confidence, go with trust, go with Dakota Bank. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. Insurance and investment products are not FDIC insured, may lose value, and have no bank guarantee.
You'll find the best used cars and trucks at the place that sells the best new cars and trucks, and that's Denny Manholt Toyota. Shop over 300 used cars, trucks, and sport utilities available, including the area's best selection of used Toyotas. Buy select Toyota certified pre-owned with financing as low as 5.19% APR for up to 72 months, including RAV4s. See us at Denny Manholt Toyota or DennyManholtToyota.com. $16.19 per 1,000 finance regardless of down with qualified credit. Expires 6/1/26.
Here's your Fox Sports Rapid City forecast. Lows around 58 tonight under partly cloudy skies, south winds 8 to 15 miles per hour. Cloudy skies with a few peaks of sun tomorrow. High temperatures reach up to 85. 58 tomorrow night. Slight chance for storms Friday and Saturday. 87 Friday, 82 Saturday. That's your forecast on the Black Hills Sports Station, Fox Sports Rapid City. Currently, it's 82 degrees.
It's pouring all summer long at Cadillac Jack's. It's the Make It Rain $125,000 downpour. Be here every Friday and Saturday from 8 p.m. till midnight for drawings every 30 minutes that start out at $300 and grow to $1,000 prize packages at 11, 11:30, and midnight. Then on Saturday, July 18th, 10 lucky winners will take home their share of $10,000 in cash and prizes at Cadillac Jack's Gaming Resort. How will your night play out?
Hanging with Brian from Anytime Auto Sales. I see new models of stand-up and teardrop campers on your lot.
Yes, you do. We're proud to feature the new SGC Armor line of campers from Bontrager Outdoors. Bang for the buck, there's just nothing out there like these new super cool Armor campers and Bontrager teardrops.
And the suspension these campers have? Wow, so impressive.
All our campers come standard with the off-road package. Bontrager and Armor just ramped boondocking up another notch. And right now, you'll get the best price all year on these 2026 ultra-light, ultra-beefy, option-loaded campers and teardrops.
You gotta check out these new look campers, people. The new designs are fantastic, and so many options for their size.
And so many options for towing. No need for a diesel or a big truck. These only weigh around 1,500 to 2,000 pounds, so they can be towed by almost any rig.
Check out these new 2026 Bontrager and SGC Armor campers, everyone. See AnytimeAnytime.com, and as always at the corner of Highway 79 and East Minnesota.
Anytime Auto Sales.
This is The Nate Brown Show, also streaming live on YouTube. Subscribe to The Nate Brown Show on YouTube.
All right, let's do this. Who's hot and who's not on the Nate Brown Show, brought to you by the Pizza Ranch in Brandon and East 10th Street, Sioux Falls. Who's hot category going to the NBA. NBC Sports getting a 10 million viewer audience for OKC and the Spurs in Game 2. That's the most watched conference finals Game 2 ever. In our Pizza Ranch Who's Not category, it's an easy one. My Chicago Cubs, they've lost 10 in a row. That's the longest losing streak right now. They've gone from first to last in the NL Central. We're back tomorrow on the Nate Brown Show. The podcast going up now.
Mom, can we please go to Watiki Indoor Water Park Resort?
Watiki? What's so special about